Hey everybody, it's Susan with Pumpkin Hill Stampers. I have a Stampin' Show and Tell for you today. Today we're going to be using the Healing Hugs stamp set, and we're going to be making this card. A couple changes I have in mind for the one I'm going to do for you today, but basically we're making this card, and I'm playing with the Case the Sketch 283 this week. So I actually think it's due today, which is the same day I'm posting the video. So you can go and check out their blog and see all the other fun creations that were done. Okay, so let's get started. So here's the card we're making. So here is my card kit. So I'm using Daffodil Delight and Garden Green with Basic Black and Whisper White. Okay. So my card base is the Daffodil Delight. We are going to stamp a background with the rose from the stamp set. So I'm just going to use Daffodil Delight on my Whisper White, and I'm going to multiple stamp the rose pattern, overlapping a little, leaving a little white space as I go. So I'm just going to start in one corner, and I'm just going to move over a little, maybe rotate a little. Okay, so as you can see, it's going to overlap in some spots and get darker, and it'll have some white gaps in other places. So we're just stamping a background, nice and easy, getting all that fun detail from the stamp. This is one of the distinctive stamps, so it's got extra detail built into the impression. Okay, and you can leave some white if you want to. So there's that. Now, I'm also going to stamp that rose on the corner of my envelope. So no naked envelopes, we're going to stamp the card. Might as well dress up the envelope, and then I'm also going to put it on the inside centerpiece. Now, the one I did originally, I put down here, but then I thought I could actually put it right in the middle, so that's what I'm going to do for this one. Now I smudged, so I'm just going to flip it over, or if you needed to, you could stamp your rose in that corner to hide that, but we're just going to stamp it over. Cardstock has two sides. So I'm going to stamp my yellow rose first. Okay, and then we'll come back and we'll do our sentiment after. So there's all my yellow roses. Now I did stamp one more on a square, and I've trimmed that out with my paper snips already, so that's going to save us a little time. So that is all of our yellow roses for now. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how I stamped the background expression. And I thought of a little cheat for us. I did a card like this a few weeks back with the Rooted in Nature set, what happens to be my Bundle to Go set this month. And so I just kind of eyeballed it, and people said, oh, you do that? I couldn't do that, it would take me forever. So here's a little cheat I came up with. So I've stamped my background, and now I have just a scrap piece of Basic Black. Okay, and I'm going to use my grid sheet. So I'm just going to give my cardstock a tilt. Okay, it doesn't matter what the tilt is, just a tilt. And then I'm going to put my black on. Okay, see, I'm making a mask, and I'm using my grid paper to keep it square side to side. Okay, so it's lined up on this line on both sides of this card. Now I come in with my Memento black ink and my stamp that says sending you healing vibes, and I'm actually going to start up here. I'm going to stamp backwards. Okay, but this is my bottom line. So I'm just going to stamp that as a pattern. Now I'm going to move this up so that I cover up, but I'm still using my grid paper so it's even on both sides. And now I'm going to stamp above that and back it up. Now some of these are going to stamp off. Okay, so now I need to come down. So I was moving about 3/4. So if this one was here, if I move it down, let's try 1/2 inch. So 2 squares. If I move it down 2 squares and I stamp, it's going to be a little bit close. So I'm going to move it down 3 squares. I said it was an idea. I didn't say I tried it yet. Okay. So experiment with your spacing. So now I'm going to offset my stamp. So I'm going to stamp this right in the center. Okay. Okay, and now I go one to the right and one to the left, because that's our pattern. Okay, and now I'm going to move down 1, 2, 3 squares. Make sure I'm on the left and the right the same. Alright, well you can see that was not quite lined up, but I think we're going to be okay. So now, that was just me holding it. So let's come down. So we're just going to keep repeating the stamp. Okay, move this over. So I'm still using my left and right to help me mark my spot. And then I'm going to come down a little more. And then one more time. This one I'm going to just do it freehand, because it's just going to take one more right there. So it takes a little time, but other than the one line that I was off a little bit, it worked pretty well. So that's just an idea for how you could do that differently. Alright, so now this piece is going to be adhered to the front of our card just like that. So I'm just going to flip this over and put some snail on. Now I know some of you would say, oh, that one in the line, it's really gonna, in the middle, it's really gonna bother me that it's not in line with the other words. And other ones of you were gonna say, oh, it's a handmade card, it makes it look like it's a handmade card, everyone's gonna love it. I say, you're probably never gonna see it, so I'm not gonna redo it. So here we go. Now we're gonna make this tag here. So I'm gonna stamp the Get Well first. Now this time I'm stamping in the garden green, which is the same color I used for the leaves. So I'm going to stamp that right over here. And then, you might not see it, but I've actually stamped the leaves on that tag as well. So right about here. Okay. And I decided one of the changes I would do is, see, this one is just white on the yellow, but I decided maybe I wanted to step it up on a piece of black. So I've just cut another piece of black, so I have about 1/16 of an inch trim all the way around, just to make that a little bolder. Okay, and then from our sketch, I bring our sketch back in. Okay, so I'm working on building the sketch. It also has a piece that comes across, and then that's going to go on top. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. That's all going to get nailed down as well. So I'm just going side to side, and you can put that wherever you want. Because remember, we're interpreting the sketch. It doesn't have to be exact. Alright, now I'm going to snail down this tag right about there. Now, my pre-cut flower and leaf, I'm going to pop those up on some dimensionals. So we add a little bit of pop to the face of our card. Okay, so first I'm going to put the leaf down, and I'm going to go just over my stamp, but it's going to peek out a little bit underneath, so it kind of gives it its own shadow. And then I'm going to add my rose. Okay, so there's the front of our card. Now, let me go ahead and do the inside, and then I'm going to come back to the front for a minute. So on the inside, the first time, remember, I put my rose down below and my words in the middle. This time I put my rose in the middle, and I'm going to put my words right on top of the rose. So make sure I'm holding it the right way. It's always a good thing. Stamp it on another piece of paper if you're not sure. So I'm going right over the top. Perfect. Okay, so let me close up my blacking so I don't get it on everything. And now I'm just going to add one more leaf to the inside here. I'm going to put it right down there. There we go. Now I'm going to put that inside my card for the liner. So a fun way to use lots of the stamps in this set to make a fun, bright, get well card. Now I'm going to let that dry for a second. It's very humid here today, so my ink and my paper is all a little bit funny. So we're just going to let that dry for a second. So now I have clear Wink of Stella. Sounds like there's still some in there. Give it a shake. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some Wink of Stella right over the top of my rose. Okay, so just gave that a squeeze. I did it on some scrap paper on the outside so that it wouldn't give me a big blob here. So I'm just painting on some glimmer from my rose. Spread that around. So this is a nice way to get, it's not glitter, but it's a shimmer pen, okay? And so you get that sparkle and shine without having the mess of loose glitter, which is always a plus for me. If I can avoid glitter, I do. So, and then I'm going to come right over the leaf, paint those up so they sparkle as well. And we just have to let that dry. Okay, so there you have it, the show and tell for today. So again, we used the Healing Hugs stamp set. We played with the sketch for the case of the sketch. Here is the original one I showed you. And here is the one I just did for you today. Slightly different, but very close. So, have fun with it. Enjoy, thumbs up, and give me a comment below if you enjoyed today. And don't forget to subscribe to the Show and Tell News, which comes out on Tuesday, so that you don't miss any of the PDF tutorials that go along with all of these videos. Alright everybody, have a great week, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.